Hello and welcome to this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me, where we focus less on the dis and more on the ability of what we can do. Join us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, live on the Disability Global Broadcast and Facebook Live. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Hello, hello, hello. It is Wednesday, March 30th. God, I cannot believe I just said that as we end another month in 2022, and we are live for episode 91 of My CP Does Not Define Me. Yes, the gravitational forces have pulled another episode straight into our existence, and here we are. But this one's one I've been waiting on for a while because this young lady here she has commented on probably 30 or 40 of my shows at least. And I know I've had a chance to spend some time with her and communicate with her. She's a fantastic person, has a fantastic family, and has a really fantastic story. I'm like, I've been trying to get this one for like, you're sitting at the lake and you're trying to get that great fish, and you're like, I've been in the same spot for an hour and nothing is happening. And all at once you get that bite. And it's like, oh, there it is right there. So, hey, Josh, how are you? Welcome to the show. Hey, Cindy, how are you? Guys, as you come in, we want to thank everybody for joining us. We are live on the Disability Global Broadcast Radio Network as my CP fumbles through my speech. And we are also live on StreamYard and Facebook. So be sure to leave us a comment and let us know how you are and comment on the story that we have for you today. I want to introduce Miss Tiffany Jackson, and she is, like I said, a great person, great individual, and has a wonderful story. Welcome to the show, Miss Tiffany. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Hanging in there like a rubber chicken on a rope set on fire. Would you do us a favor for those of us that don't know you and what you feel comfortable sharing? Would you share just a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what type of disability you have, things like that?
My name is Tiffany Jackson. I'm from Iowa, but we have recently moved to Florida due to health conditions. I have a spinal cord injury of C5, C6 spinal cord injury level. And I've been paralyzed almost 10 years due to a car accident of a hit and run.
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to live it every day as one.
So everything was perfectly fine, and then it just happened.
Yes.
So you're in the boat of the quote unquote using all the extremities, and then it rock bottom hit to where it kind of blindsided you.
Blink an eye, everything changed.
And that's you hear that phrase, and people can't really understand it until they're in that situation. In the blink of an eye, it does not take long. Let's go back a little bit. So before the accident, what was life like?
Oh, it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Before the accident, I had all three of my children before the accident. My daughter was 7 months old in the car accident, and my son was 22 months old in the car accident.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a normal everyday life, just going out, taking the kids to the parks, having fun, doing what families would do.
Right.
And we went to go get our water park passes for the summer, and that's when it all happened.
So, looking at the hustle and bustle, before the accident, was it life was go 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 all the time? There was no slowdown. It was just straight through, or was there a moment of, I have to slow down. My life is going fast. I got to realize what's going on.
See, that's amazing that you just said that, because I say this to myself ever since the car accident happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a way for God to tell me to slow down. I was doing too much.
You
And
know,
as the same thing.
to hear you say that, and I don't wish car accidents or anything on anybody, but when you have life as quote unquote normal, whatever normal is, I still don't have the definition of normal because I'm far
Right.
from that. I got 6 tentacles growing out of the back of my head. You just can't see them on camera. I but honestly, it's like they classify my life. They classify a life as, oh, we were doing this, this, and this, and then the accident hit, and everything went.
Yep.
Life just kind of was on hold, and it's a wake up call. But I've never been in an accident, and I look at people and I go, the reason I have cerebral palsy is because God has given me the gift of being able to take life moment by moment, second by second, day by day, because I everything was boom. I got to, and you're born with cerebral palsy, so life is that is what you know. The car accident though is different because that's where everything uproots, and you're like, okay, what do I do now? So let's go to that day a little bit. You had two little ones in the car.
Yep.
You're going to pick up your water park passes. Go back to that night 10 years ago.
Oh, well, my brother was actively in drug addiction at that time, so I had a relationship with him prior to that day for like 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I mean, it wasn't an option. I didn't want it around me. I didn't want it around my kids. I've been there, done that. I didn't want it. Well, that day we were like, okay, well, something's got to change. Maybe I can help him. Maybe I can start talking to him. Maybe he'll really listen this time. But him, my husband, which was not my husband at the time,
Mm-hmm.
we had only been together for about 2.5 years at that point. And then two of our children. And we were going about an hour out of out of my town, and at 80 miles an hour, we rolled 8 to 10 times going 80 miles an hour down a 40-foot incline. They thought
So,
I was on site. They had to use the jaws of life to pull me out of the truck. My son flew out the sunroof about 10 feet from the highway.
oh,
He was 7 months old, and she was still in her car seat. She was still buckled in. She had got bruising from the rolling and hitting the sides of the car seat. But other than that, she was perfectly fine. My son, when he flew out the sunroof, he shattered his arm above and below the elbow. The doctor said that was good because he can still bend his elbow. And my husband was fine. My brother was fine. My brother said he tried to catch my son when he went out the sunroof, but it was July 28th. It was hot. My son only had a pamper on, so he couldn't grab anything to hold. The doctor said that it was a good thing that my brother probably didn't catch him because the truck could have rolled on him. They shut down the whole highway. They life flighted my son and I, and then they put my brother, my husband, and my daughter all in ambulances. Yeah, 2 helicopters and 2 ambulances.
what is the last thing that you remember about the accident?
Them asking me what hospital I wanted to go to. And for whatever reason, I told them the hospital that was out of town. I don't know why. I don't know where it would have came from, how I would even know what the name was.
So in all of this, there's three gifts here, and I want to point this out and see if you agree. So now your son goes flying out the window, out the sunroof, in his car seat, and lands where?
In the tall prairie grass. It was like 6, 7, 8 foot tall prairie grass. This all happened in South Dakota.
So, amazingly, he's not hurt. He's fine.
Yep.
Your daughter's fine.
Yep.
Your brother's fine.
Yep.
Your husband is fine.
Yep.
And you rolled how many times?
8 to 10 times down a 40-foot incline going 80 miles an hour.
8 to 10 times down a 40-foot incline going 80 miles an hour in South Dakota.
Yep. And it made national news in the 3 months that I was in the hospital that was the only place on Interstate 29 that did not have guardrails.
I stopped for a second because I'm going, okay, you know that story where people ask, how can God exist? How can God be real?
This is here right now.
Let's take a look at something. Can you imagine the force of a truck rolling 8 to 10 times down a 40-foot incline and a child, an infant, flying out of a sunroof with a pamper on, okay, and landing in tall 8 to 10 foot prairie grass and not harming himself? Being okay, a little bit of bruising on the cheek. There's no right. Somebody was watching out for you that day. I'm gonna say it was God. I'm not going religion on the show, but look, you gotta look at the facts.
Yes.
There's only so many ways, and you didn't know the name of the hospital that was out of town. You didn't know where it was. And all of this came to you like, okay, this hospital, and there's no.
Well,
Okay.
my husband said that they named off the hospitals to me, but I don't remember that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense, but I don't remember that.
Was there, and believe it or not, guys, this story gets so much better. You think this is the icing on the cake? You ain't even put the cake in the oven yet. Was there a moment where, can you remember what you felt during the rolling of? Do you remember what went through your mind at that time?
The last thing that I remember before I woke up and we were down the hill already was me trying to correct the truck to get back over into the other lane before the guy coming up on us hit us. So, and I recall there being construction on the road, and that's why I was getting over in the first place.
Whew.
Well, there wasn't. My mom, my husband, they all said there wasn't. So, again, I'm sober. No drugs, no alcohol, no nothing is involved in this car accident.
So okay, now this is a point to the story that she just brought up. She sees construction, so she gets over. And there's a comment up here, Shayna. Let me just, I'm a nobody but God, really. So you look at this and all of these factors and moments, and we were talking off air a little bit about your son shattered his elbow at the bottom and the top of his elbow, you said, and your brother tried to grab your son as he was going out of the sunroof, but he just had the pamper on and there was nothing to grab onto.
Yep.
Now it's a good thing because had he grabbed him, the truck could have rolled on top of him as he was going up out of the.
Yep.
If people are listening to this right now, you question if God exists. Look at the facts of what just happened. A 40-foot incline. A lot of people don't know 40 feet. Okay, 40 feet. You figure there's 3 feet in the yard. that's 120 feet. Okay.
40 feet is probably the equivalent height of a 5-story hotel.
I mean, and this is all in seconds. So the car is rolling, the baby's going out, he's in his pamper. I'm enthralled by this. And yet there's this moment of, oh, prairie grass, okay. And the baby's like, what just happened? Like, I mean, so let's get to you. So they get the jaws of life, they pry you out of the car, I mean, could you feel anything at that time? What was going through your mind?
I don't really know, like, the feeling, like how I was feeling. The seatbelt is what snapped my neck and broke my neck. It didn't cease, it didn't break, it didn't come off. My airbag didn't deploy on the driver's side. Nothing. I don't really remember if I could feel or not. I know that after everything happened and I woke up in a truck, I was slumped over the middle console. And I heard my husband coming to check on my daughter. And I lifted my head up and I was talking to him. Well, I didn't know at that point that my neck was broke already. So I didn't really know. I just knew that I couldn't move.
All right, we've got a question from our viewers. Milton said, sorry, what date did this happen?
July 28th, 2012.
Wow. So did they tell you how long it took you to get out of the car? How long would it take him to pull you out?
It was a long while. I'm guessing I was like one of the last ones to get out because, again, I thought I was dead already. Wow. And nobody, I was the only one trapped. They thought I was dead. So when my husband came back down from the truck driver coming, right?
Yeah, we looked for your eye. We didn't know where it was.
They were looking for my son when he flew out the sunroof. And a truck driver that was going the opposite way on the highway had seen him fly out and saw the accident. So, but he didn't get a good enough description of the car to be able to help us out.
Well, and that's the thing. You're going so fast, and things are happening so fast. I mean, that's you see all that, and the description of the car is sometimes the least of your worries because you're panicked by what you see. So let's move forward a little bit. Like I said, we might go over the hour on this one, but that's okay. I did check with the boss lady, and she said that's fine. So I again want you guys to listen. You got to take into perspective here what is going on. You have 2 children, a husband, and a brother in the car, and all of them survive with injuries, but minor. Okay. How old was your son at the time?
22 months. He was 24 months. I'm sorry.
2. He just turned 2.
Yep.
A 2-year-old child goes flying out of the sunroof of a car, and I'm literally at a loss for words. Lands in tall prairie grass without an injury in a car seat, and yet the seatbelt snaps your neck. And they say, buckle up for safety. I'm going, Jack. I'm sorry. this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard, and it's not even. Okay, so moving forward, they get you out of the car. You know, all. Did you know that everybody was okay at this time?
No, no. The only ones that I knew was okay was um, my husband and my brother.
Mm.
Kicked the windows out to get out. So I was aware for all of that, but it was like I was going in and out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Of consciousness. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get to the hospital, and you wake up. What was that moment like for you? What were those first moments of whatever it was? Can you describe that to me?
Oh, okay. Getting to the hospital, the nurses and doctors in the ER said I was talking like nothing was wrong with me. They just couldn't believe it. And then I was in ICU for 34 days in an induced coma. And then
Was that to let you heal, Miss Tiffany? Is that why they did that?
yeah, mostly. And then I think the first time that they were trying to bring me out of it, I had an episode. So they had to put me back because they had to switch some medicines around or something.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up tying me down the whole 9 yards. Yeah,
Whoa!
I pulled my trach out and everything.
Holy. Okay, so you had a breathing trach. Wow.
Yeah, yep. Um,
Now you were paralyzed from the.
chest down with partial arm usage.
Okay.
So one hand is always open
Right.
and one hand doesn't open.
Right. So it's okay. So could you hear everything in the coma? Do you know, were people talking to you?
No, I don't remember a lot of that. Coming out of it, like in the first days when I was coming out of it, actually out of it,
Mm-hmm.
moved to rehab floor and stuff. Um, I remember a lot of that. There was a bad situation that happened as well, and my husband and my mom were not happy with that at all. But we've never seen that nurse again. So that's another story for another day.
Well, again, we're definitely going to have you back for a part two. I can already see that. This is because you know, but you look at the miracle of this, and I keep going back to how powerful this is. To be paralyzed from the chest down, and I see you moving your arms, I'm going, okay, there's a breakthrough here, and I'm watching this live, and other people are watching this live, and we've got comments streaming in of what an amazing story this is. Nobody but God. Oh my God, you are a miracle. My God. I mean, so miracles do happen. This is in itself, I've always prayed for a shield of protection around a car when you go on a trip.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this was, in a sense. Now, yeah, something happened. Yes, I mean there are problems. So you're in rehab now, and you're going through what you're going through. When did you know and realize that you were paralyzed?
I think when I got upstairs to rehab, um, my mom and my husband, I guess they had some words down, downstairs and stuff before, while I was in ICU.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, because my husband and I weren't married again at this time. We had only just been together maybe 2.5 years at this point. And my mom was like, well, what are you going to do? Because she's not going to deal with you leaving and BSing and all that, when she gets out. So make your choice.
I ain't playing.
And he said he was confused. He didn't know, what she was talking about. He's like, going anywhere? That's my baby. I'm not.
Wow.
And here we are 14 years later. So
let's go through before we get too much into the technical side of it. You know, I can understand a mom's thought there. You know, what are you going to do? This is my child. You know, we don't want to have more problems on top of what's already going on. What was your support system like during that time? I mean, of your mom and your husband and your brother, because you said you hadn't really had a conversation with your brother because of the issues that he was going through. So did God bring you closer together with your family through this as well? I mean, let's go there.
my family, yes, to a certain extent, because you know, um, well, we're raw and uncut DJs, so this is what it is. My mom married a black man, and our family disowned us, got us taken away from my mom, went through the whole works, off lies. And so when that happened, it was like, okay, our family really took a step back. Our accident happened. They were like, oh, we missed you. I'm sorry this happened, blah, blah, blah. Inviting us to family functions and, trying to pull me back in. Well, sorry I was a drug addict. I'm sorry I was a troubled teen. I'm sorry I was abused as a child, not only physically, but mentally and sexually and emotionally as well. I'm sorry I was in and out of group homes. There's nothing that anybody can do to change that but me. And at that time, I couldn't change that. So they disowned us. One, because a tragic accident happens. Oh, now it's time to
go back and fix everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of, now as I've grown with this and have had to learn and research and figure myself out again, I have had to spare my time and feed them with a long-handled spoon.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. Your your ability to phrase this thing, I'm sitting there going, hold it together, hold it together, hold it together, because I'm listening to this and I'm going, they disown you because why? Wait a minute. They disown you. Why? What is a black man got to do? Shoot, I'm pretty sure I got black in me. Look, I am not playing. Y'all don't know the way I cook chicken. Don't like. I don't mean to laugh, but goodness gracious, can we please get past the color of skin somewhere? I mean, this is.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It is, because it's so petty. It's so petty. And I want to kind of get into a little more of this. You're dealing with this, and then I don't want candy coating on top of stuff. I almost said something else. We on the radio. I don't want candy coating on top of stuff. Look, it is what it is. You don't have to like me. You don't have to do what I do. You don't have to support what I do. But you gonna disown me because I'm with a black guy? Come on. Somebody needs to wake up and smell the coffee somewhere.
Yep.
So now they're inviting you to all these functions. They're trying to get you to, I'm trying to move forward, because that one right there in the back of my mind, I'm ready to punch somebody. And it just, because that infuriates me. Like this, we still have people that can't get past black and white. And I say this, and I've said this on shows. Let me break it down simple for you. And I'm not trying to cut into your time, Miss Tiffany, at all. But you look at a black man, a white man, a Hindu man, an Indian man, a man that's green from Mars. You take every single arm they got and you cut them down the arm. What color comes out?
Same damn color as yours.
Exactly. Red. So why in the world are you worried about what they look like by the color of skin? Okay, that's all I'm saying. Moving on. I ain't trying to. Woo!
So they started inviting us to the family functions and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we started going, My grandmother was still alive, so I was still going. Well, when my grandmother passed, that was the end of it. I said, I don't have to be around these fake people. I don't have to deal with this. I am my own person. I have my own family. And as long as my mom is still alive, that's what matters to me.
Right.
So we up and uprooted our little 3 people family and moved
For a
down to
second, for a second time.
Yep.
So this, yeah. So let me go back, and I want to say something, and I hope you don't mind me saying this. I love the fact that you said I was with my boyfriend at the time, who was not my husband at the time, but we had our children, and you didn't marry because you had children. You married because you love each other, and I want to just focus on this for a second because, and if I can get kind of both of your opinion here, when did when do you think he knew that it was time, and why? What was, I mean, because marriage is, and I'm gonna say this live on for anybody that says marriage don't change stuff, it does. For anybody
a lot.
that says, "Oh, marriage ain't gonna change that much." You waking up to the same face every day. You waking up to the same person every day. The same body functions every day. It Once you get 7, 10, 12, 14 years in there, I'm sorry, y'all got to understand. It is what it is. That face grows more and more beautiful, or you gonna get punched square in the mouth. That's just it. I mean, that's just. It. Look, my wife got a mean right hook. I ain't lying. I'm just. Um, I'm. Whoo, Lord. So when did he know? And I'm sorry, I don't know your husband's name offhand. That it was time.
I don't know. Let me bring him in.
All right, come on. Let's bring in the hubby. I got one eye. Up, 2 eyes. Up, there he is. Okay.
Hello,
How you doing?
Jay.
Yes, sir.
My name is Keith.
All
When
right.
did I when I noticed she was the one?
Mm-hmm.
It was when the accident happened. Like she said, her mom pulled me down to the car parking lot. They were headed out. They were leaving the hospital. It was late at night. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning. We were all tired. Anyway, she just looked at me. She said, "So what are you gonna do?" I said, "Well, I'm see you guys up. I'm gonna go back upstairs with Tiffany." I didn't know what she was talking about. She said, "No, what are you gonna do?" I said, "I just told you I'm gonna do. I might get something to eat. See if I can get something to eat." She said, "No, Keith. What are you effing going to do? Do you realize she's never gonna walk again? Do you realize her life has changed?" And like, I still was like confused. I'm with her, plain and simple. What it came
So
down to. I
so
never
you
crossed my mind that I never pictured my life without her.
now
So
see now that's powerful right there, because I was getting ready to go down that path. He said, in my mind, I was staying anyway. I'm not gonna go nowhere anyway.
yeah.
Why was that question? So you said it was when the accident happened. What made it not be 2 years before that? And I'm asking this question for a reason.
Oh, you asking that question for? She was a wild woman. Every 3 months we were fighting. Well, I wasn't fighting because I'm not. I finally set her down. I said I can't do this every 3 months.
Mm. Uh-oh. Wait a second. We gotta try to get her back here. Hold on. Mm. Give me just a moment, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know. We're having a little bit of a technical difficulty. She'll be back in just a second, hopefully. Um, I want to see if we can get her back in. re-click on the link if you can. We lost you. So we're going to try to. So going into this now. Here's the thing, and I want to talk a little bit about this while we get them back. The dedication of that. Okay, no matter the case, for somebody to stay in that line of what happened, and to admit things have to change. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, we're back now. All right. So you were saying, you set her down and you said, I can't do this. Some things got to change. So y'all had that conversation.
Yeah, we sure did. Yes, we had that conversation.
And I'm proud of you, and I want to say that because it takes a man to be a man, but to be a man, you have to realize how to be one. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
One thing that I say, well, we got people saying, yay, they're back. Okay. One thing that I realized is I always try to do what I say I'm gonna do. I got the man sweating on the brow. Look out. I said, by the time when you make a promise to somebody, when you tell them you love them, it's in for the long haul. You can't, but when it's real, when the love is real, it doesn't go away. It doesn't stop. You can get mad at the person. I'm going over here to the kitchen. Get me a bologna sandwich. Get me some water. And you just always trying to tell me what to do and where to go and how to act and how to be. And then all of a sudden you're like, nah, I miss her because I can't talk to her. I'm all by myself over here with the peanut butter and the jelly. Well, see, that's what marriage is. It's a commitment. So once you get to that point, see, I told you this show was gonna get real, y'all. Don't play with me. I this audience is going nuts right now, y'all. I have to say this. I think that this is touching because there's a realism inside of this that this world needs to hold on to. It ain't about color. It ain't about skin. It ain't about race. It's about what's inside and what beats in the chest. What's inside and the soul. God don't see color. God created us in his own image. What in the world did we get so captivated by this person looks different than I do? You got just a little less hair than me. That's the only thing I see. And I can shave mine just like you can shave yours. We both eat chicken and tater salad the same way. It really makes me happy to see the commitment and say, listen, we got to decide what we're going to do because, and that conversation was before the accident happened, right? The conversation that you.
Yes, I was tired of restraining her.
But now see, because y'all had that conversation and because the accident happened, there's a rhyme and a reason for everything. And you look at it and it's like a lot of people will say, why did you allow this to happen? Why God did this? Look at it. Look at it. It could have been so much worse. So much worse. But the miracle in this is that even, and I don't know if maybe this is, a little bit stretch of a reach, but even your family goes, we got to wake up. Yeah. There's a moment when you realize your life is almost over. You're going to go, oh, okay, either I'm going to slow down or my head's going to come off. And you talked about that, Miss Tiffany, about, realizing I think the accident happened, God allowed the accident to happen. because I needed to slow down.
Okay.
To be able to admit that, and to be able to see your husband sitting by your side, and now he is your husband, and now this has happened. So let's go into two parts here, and I'll get Miss Tiffany to answer first. You're completely paralyzed from the chest down. And I want to read this comment, these two comments here from my sister. Shana says, I love the fact that he does not leave or give up on their relationship. And then she said this, Shana gonna make me cry. He allowed this to happen to show others it can be done. He's real. And they are here to show others you can make it. Through all this trauma, through all of this quote unquote bad stuff, you're not going to rip the Band-Aid off the cut and the cut going to heal. The cut's got to heal from the inside out. So going forward, so you start working and you start rehabbing and you start doing all. How did that go? What was that like for you?
Well, let's take a step sideways, because I used to smoke cigarettes before the car accident happened. Well, when the car accident happened, I had went to rehab, a week in rehab. I don't remember, but my husband could tell you, another story for another day. But I ended up collapsing one of my lungs because I wanted to smoke.
So I would go out and I never left her side. Once I got up there, once I hit Sioux Falls, I didn't leave the hospital until she left.
Now you said what did you say also, because it broke out once she said she collapsed her lung and then you came in. What was the first thing you said? I'm sorry.
At the time, so while she was in the room, I would go out and smoke. When she was able to come outside finally, she would come out with me, mad to smoke a cigarette over and over every day. Let me hit that. Let me have some of that cigarette. Let me have some of that cigarette. Like, you are not supposed to be smoking. And I mean, it was driving me crazy, DJ. I finally said, you know what? Here, go ahead, smoke. As soon as she got back upstairs, her alarm collapsed, and they had to rush in. The alarms were going off and everything. I was like, see, you're not supposed to smoke.
When something is happening that God doesn't want, when something is happening in your life, He will either take it away or He will allow you to see what you're doing.
Yes.
So go ahead. So you collapsed your lung. What happened?
Then they had to rush to the pulmonary and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Get her vitals, everything back to normal. But everything it turned out okay. But it just was that point. Stop bothering him. I guess God was saying, leave him alone about smoking a cigarette at that time. On his mind, he's about enough right now. Leave him alone.
You don't smoke either now, right?
Nope, I should no.
Neither one of us.
No.
Now, why would I ask that question? Do you see what just happened? Do y'all see what just happened? I don't know that he don't smoke. He said, I went out to smoke every day. My lung didn't collapse. Her lung collapsed. What happened? If he's going to ask her to give something up and he can't give it up himself, what's the purpose of asking his wife? Come on now. Y'all, look, don't get me preaching up here. What's the purpose of asking somebody else, give that up? You don't need that. And you go light it up. And you just, your lung gonna collapse too. Can't grow no hair because you're smoking. I know. Look. I don't But I love this though. Do y'all see the pattern? Y'all see how amazing this is? Look at this. When you have a husband and wife, there's got to be a yoke. There's got to be a partnership. There's got to be an understanding about each other. You don't have to agree on everything. Sometimes she wants to rip your hair out, as we can see that happen. Sometimes he wants to rip your hair out. You still got some, so you good there. But it's amazing to me of if I'm going to ask my wife to do it. Did you stop smoking when she did?
Stop at the same time. So yeah.
Wow. And I didn't know that. I just kind of went, well, you don't smoke either, right? Because I was going to see if you said yeah. and I was gonna get you, but that's okay. Look, I'm proud of both of you because I think that this is what marriage is supposed to be. You got people looking at black men shouldn't date a white woman shouldn't date a black man. This is not. This right here is peaceful because what you've got is real. It's not about the most beautiful thing here is there's an equality that some people can see it and some people can't. But if you can't see it, maybe you're not looking through the right set of eyes. And I'm saying this because we haven't even gotten to half of what I wanted to get to. And there might be a part 3 in this. I am gonna take that extra 10 minutes. I sure am. If y'all don't mind. But we got about 15 minutes left before the show ends. Technically, I got a little more time because I know the boss lady like that. That's my mama. but so you've gone through the lung thing and they got you where you needed to be. You've given up smoking. He's given it up. Y'all stop at the same time. Now you're on the path of, look, I'm not going to let anything stop me from this. When did the progress start happening?
My second week into rehab, I was sitting up on the beds and the flat tables that they have, balls, catching balls, learning how to balance again. They had to teach me how to eat, talk, everything, all over again. The only thing that to the present that I have not been able to do is stand up and walk.
Yet. One thing that I realized with you and with that man sitting back there, got me. I'm not a person to say, look, this isn't going to happen. Look at the miracle now of where you are from where you were. See, the reason this story is a miracle is not just because of your survival. It's what God is doing within the miracle of your lives still. The miracle's still happening. It hasn't stopped yet. This happened in 2012, and we're looking at 2022, and this is almost May, April. Lord, lost a month. Whoo! Come on back. It really touches my heart to hear that, and I'm going, are you kidding me? So your long-term goal, I would say, is to walk again, and are you still going to rehab and therapy?
With the COVID shutting everything down here in Florida, these are crazy. That's what I'm gonna say about that. So they literally shut everything down, like doctor's offices, everything. And we came down right before COVID had hit everything. So we're on waiting list for everything. Again, we've been down for almost 3 years now and still on waiting list. He hasn't been able to work because we can't get in-home health care. My 10-year-old daughter can't take care of me while he's at work, Plus, what do we do when she goes to school?
Right.
Oh.
And within the miracle, there are still battles. But the three of you and the four of you have not given up. That's the point of this. And I'm kind of I'm actually honored to do this. What do you think? What do you think this now that you've gone through and you are where you are now? I'll ask you first, Miss Tiffany. What do you think the accident has taught you from where you are now? Oh, we lost sound here. Can you hear me? All right. What you're probably gonna need to click out and then click back in. We've lost sound. I don't know.
There we go. There we go.
All right. So what is this? What has it taught you?
Um, don't take life for granted. I was one of those people that never thought something like this would happen to me, or never thought that because I did do so much good in the world that, something like this could happen to me. But here I am, 10 years later, still here, still kicking, still breathing, still trying to spread awareness and positivity.
Keith, what is it? What has the accident taught you?
Ooh, we DJ. It's total opposite lifestyle. Everything changed. So it taught me just perseverance and just look for the good in everything. That's all. I'm too positive. I'm positive about everything. Even before the accident, I was always a positive person. So I just hold my positivity and try to look at life on the bright side, no matter what's going on.
One thing that my mother always says, and I'm surprised. I don't know if she's up here or not. I don't see her up here, but it don't mean she's not watching. I learned that the hard way. Let me tell you. Uh, she is the most positive person I've ever met, and she can take a negative situation and go, "Do you see this? Do you see this? Do you see this? Do you see this?" Uh, it is very hard to hold yourself together hosting a show and to hear a story like this and not lose it totally because it is rough there. But see, when it's rough and you use the sandpaper and God smooths out the edges, that's where you're like, man, I ain't see this coming. And the perseverance, that's the word right there. The never give up attitude, that never give up lifestyle, the never give up, keep going, keep pushing, keep living, keep digging through. You got to put forth the effort. And you've used that word a couple of times in this of I had to do this because if I don't, smoking and stress and all that, that's silent. They mess you up, kill you. I mean, that's just, oh man. And I'm looking at this and it's like, yeah, you were positive before, but that positive cup is overflowing now because you got back what you could have lost. See, and that's that never take life for granted. You will walk again. Don't, but here's the thing, and this is Edwina Wilson talking, not and partly me. You got to claim that. You got to claim that, and you got to believe it wholeheartedly here. Okay, with as far as you've come, and as far, woo, okay, as far as you're going to go, you got to claim that because that's why I said yet. They did, they look. The only thing I haven't done is stand up on my own, and I'm waiting, going, wait a minute, stand up on your own what? Well, my own 2 feet. No, you haven't stood up yet. Um, God does things on His own time, and that's it's not our time; it's His.
Yep.
So for the last segment of this show, and I'm gonna have both of you back again. I cannot wait. Actually, um, I was I was gonna take a 4 week hiatus to stop, but I can't until I finish the rest of my guests first. That's what I realized today. Even doing this show, I'm like, man, that 4 month hiatus is coming. I'm gonna take a break, but I'm gonna finish my guests first. And I just I can't. I've already got guests in coming through April, so I'm gonna finish out April and then I'm gonna take that hiatus. But I have a list of questions here.
Okay.
And these are completely random, but they're kind of fun. And I just want to read a couple and see how you guys what you guys do and say. Miss Tiffany, what is your favorite word?
It's a naughty word.
Uh-oh. Can't say that one on the air. Got to keep it clean. What's your least favorite word?
Can't.
I like that. Keith, how about you? What's your favorite word, young man?
Ooh, we.
That's a
Forever.
good word.
My favorite word is forever.
Forever. And your least favorite?
It's can't. I'm gonna have to agree with her on can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always tell my kids, don't say the word can't. Don't say you can't.
Drop the T and get it done. The only way to change a can't to a can. That's
Yes.
a whole nother story for another day, and that's going to take longer than an hour show. All right. What is your favorite sound, Miss Tiffany?
Oh, the dolphin noises.
Okay. What's your least favorite sound?
High pitched screeching.
Keith, how about you, my friend?
Wind chimes. Wind
Oh,
chimes. When it went blowing chimes.
okay. And your least favorite sound?
Another loud alarm clock. I do not like an alarm clock just blaring at me.
Beep, beep, beep. Yeah.
Ooh,
All right. What's your favorite dessert?
peach cobbler.
And blueberry muffins.
Name a food that you don't like.
Oh, I don't like seafood, just crab legs.
Oh, Lord, she done committed a cardinal sin over here.
Yeah,
Woo!
I don't let her influence our palate though. We eat everything. I don't have anything I don't just like.
I've got two more for you.
Doesn't eat, I get it.
Mm-hmm. Tell me something that makes you smile.
My family.
Oh, baby's making. Oh,
Tell me something that makes you frown.
Negativity.
I don't like ignorance.
Yeah.
Stand.
You know, in all of this, and I wanted to ask those few questions because when you look at this situation and you look at how precious this is, and the reason I'm saying this out loud is because you said something that I value so well, and that's never take life for granted.
Well,
You know, we don't know how much time we have. We don't know how much time we're going to have. You know, you figure, you know, a year is 365 days around the, trips around the sun. And you look at it and you're both here now doing this show today of all days. And I listen to you all. There's a humbleness in this that is absolutely incredible. There's a second half to your story that's even, to me, as powerful, if not more powerful, than what you've shared today. Um, and it would be an honor to have all of you come back again for a second time, and what you would like, if you'd like, to share more of that, because I think we just cut into half the iceberg today. Chainsaw blade got a little dull, had to change it up. But I commend you both for your spirit of keeping hope alive and keeping faith alive. And it's not about what people tell you, it's what you show them and what you do. And your perseverance is incredible. Your story, this half, is incredible. But not only that, the power behind it and what it has done for the 900 and some comments that we've got up here I couldn't keep up with them. They're coming in so fast. And that's when you get a subject that you talk about and it hits right here and you're going, I'm fine. I'll be perfectly okay. I just got to get, and everybody's going, oh, no, he's not, It's hard to sit here and go, man, how can you not feel after hearing this? And I'm hoping that somebody else out there is sitting on their couch and went, she had the courage to tell that part of her story. And I'm sitting here moping because I am so proud of you to share this section of it and to go through it and to relive it, because it's hard to go through and to re-dig up that old salt. You put salt in a wound, you're like, ow, ow, ow. But I commend you guys so much. Do me a favor. If you could say anything to our viewers right now, and I'll get both of you on this as well, Miss Tiffany, what would you say to our viewers in regards to a final thought or a word of inspiration or a thought of, what you're feeling?
My number one quote is, God don't like ugly and karma don't discriminate.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to write that one down. God don't like ugly and karma don't discriminate. Ooh. Anything else?
Not on my side. I mean, there's a few things that I can put out there, but we'll save those for others.
Okay. All right, big man. How about yourself?
I just want to tell everybody, life is life. Life is hard. Don't make it any harder than it has to be. Life throws all kinds of things at you. Just don't make it any harder. Why act extra? I mean, that's what I wholeheartedly feel. Don't need to. Life is hard already. Don't make it harder.
Well, do me a favor, stay with us, because when we go off the air, I want to talk to you guys for just a minute.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get my book and schedule it in so that I got part 2. And I'm like, I ain't missing this one. But I literally, thank you, because yeah, I do need a vacation and I do need to take time for myself, but I have to honor the guests that I have, and I want to make sure that they get the same opportunity that you got today. So, guys, if you want to be a guest on the show, you can email me at carterdj85@gmail.com. In the subject line, put possible guest for My CP Does Not Define Me. Include a short bio and a picture of yourself. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Facebook at D_J Carter Jr. DJ is capitalized and the first word in Carter is capitalized, and also Junior is spelled out. If you want to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, it is My CP Does Not Define Me. My YouTubes are My CP Does Not Define Me, Chairmaster Games, and also Worth the Wait Cooking with DJ Carter. All of these shows for My CP Does Not Define Me are placed on my YouTube channel in their entirety on the My CP Does Not Define Me playlist. I always say you can do anything you want to. You just got to put your mind to it and go for it all the way out. I thank you guys for all the comments and questions. And if we didn't get to you, I'm sorry. We had so many coming in. I highlighted a bunch of them, but, again, we're going to have them back. As I say, you can do anything you want. All you got to do is put your mind to it. But if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. This is D to the J with a roll away, saying we'll see you next week for episode 92 of My CP Does Not Define Me.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me. As always, you can catch us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on the Disability Global Broadcast and Facebook Live. If you haven't already checked out our YouTube channel, My CP Does Not Define Me, we post all of the show videos in our My CP playlist. I'm your host, D to the J with the roll away. And if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. We'll see you next week.